Uh, you know, this is, everybody got so busy this year, I didn't really get a chance to ask Charlie Tavish why we're showing this movie. It's a delightful movie and everything, but I'm curious, just a couple of people tell me why you're here.
I've been asking for it for years. Yeah, I've been asking for it since 2011, Robert.
Okay, great. And why? Is it their favorite?
I was a young gal up in living in New Jersey. I was an oilfield brat, and we saw this movie, and it just struck home with me because I kept wanting to go to New York, but the folks would
Right.
never take me.
Great. Well, it's a charming movie, and of course, it's like the first movie. I mean, Jane Fonda did a whole series of movies that were movie adaptations of Broadway comedies, Barefoot in the Park, and Any Wednesday, and Period of Adjustment, and so many. And this was kind of the first of it. This had been a Broadway play with Robert Redford before he became a movie star. And it's a delightful movie with Jane, Rod Taylor, Robert Culp, and also certainly Cliff Robertson. But it's kind of the first of the ones for Jane, and I wouldn't think, I was trying to think why Charlie had booked it, and I thought, well, maybe it's because its main release was in 1964, that's 50 years ago, so it's a 50th anniversary, and even though it says in the program it was 63, because that's when it was like first previewed or something, but it is a delightful movie to watch, to see Jane Fonda, particularly I think now, knowing how her career has kind of developed, and she's done such interesting things, and the fact that she keeps going, and now she's kind of back after being gone, doing things like the newsroom and other things. She's such a vital person. We had her on to do a private screening thing, and I was a little nervous because I thought, you know, she's so into politics and everything like that, she's not gonna wanna talk about movies. She's gonna think that's very silly stuff compared. So I said to her, I said, you know, we all know about your politics, but we want to talk about your movies today. And she said, oh, thank God. She said, I never get to talk, I've never asked about my movies. And she said, I love my movies. And she said, and so she was such a good guest. But when she came on the set, which I thought was amazing, you know, because they still do terrible things to her in Atlanta, where she lives and stuff. They'll spray paint her car, Hanoi Jane, and things like that. And she's apologized for all that for so long, but that won't go away. But she came on the set and she went around to everybody on the set, so you got about 30 people on the set, and she said, hi, I'm Jane, and would ask their name. She went around to all the crew, all the grips and everything like that, and I thought, that's just so friendly and so wonderful. I mean, she couldn't have been nicer. And she talked about her films and how much she liked them, so I have a particular soft spot in my heart for her, and the interesting career she's had, and the interesting person she is. So it's really interesting, I think, to see Jane Fonda early on in her career in this movie. So I'm delighted you're here, and I was curious, though, why we were showing this film. So whatever the reason, and I'm glad that you liked the film so much you requested it, that you're all here to enjoy it today. I also want to thank you so much for coming to the festival. Like Genevieve, I can't believe it's almost over. It seemed like it just started, and it's whizzed by, and it's been so much fun. And we've had such interesting people here. We had such an interesting evening last night with Kim Novak. I don't know if any of you were there. Yes. And she was so open and so honest, and she didn't want to talk about Bell Book and Candle. She said they're going to see the movie. She called me in beforehand. She said they're going to see the movie, and they know why they're here, and they're going to have a good time. But she said, I want to talk about something else. I want to use that time to say something relevant. And she said that she felt she'd been abused by people on the internet and everything after her appearance of the Academy Awards, and that people were so cruel, and just that whole thing, and she wanted to address that situation about how we're all getting to be so cruel about things because we can say things anonymously on, you know, on Facebook or whatever, and she told about how hurt she'd been. She, you know, tried to look her best and do her best and everything like that, and the things that people were saying on Facebook, and I was kind of hoping she hadn't even read Facebook or know anything about that. And she explained about that, but she was so open and so honest and about her mental problems and all that. And she said, you know, you try to get to some point and you try to be adjusted and things like that come, and you know, you're just trying to be the best and do a good thing. It was so interesting. But anyway, we've had interesting people all the way along, and it's fun to have you here enjoying all of that and sharing all that.
Thank you. We also love Ron Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a wonderful actor. He really is. And never really got his due. And we're going to try to get him to come to a festival.
Yes.
He's so interesting, and he would be a great guest and everything. So that's certainly on the agenda. So anyway, have a good time. Enjoy the rest of the festival, and I'll probably see some of you at Wizard of Oz tonight. And or Alan Arkin, he's doing an interview. So anyway, thanks so much for being here.